Okay, so I run to the bathroom to be sick. When I'm done with that, I pass out on the floor. The EMTs get me onto a stretcher. As they're wheeling me out to the ambulance, my friend pulls up to come watch the boys while my husband and I go to the hospital. And she looked absolutely horrified. And later she told me she was freaking out because I was blue. And that's why the EMTs kept saying that. So finally we're on our way to the hospital and they immediately just take me up to gynecology considering that I'm pregnant. And I keep saying, I think I'm having an ectopic pregnancy. Like, please just get this out of me right away. But the doctors keep asking, like, when was the date of your last period? Kind of like seeming like they were doubting me. And I was just like, let's just get this done already. They give me an ultrasound and they can see at this point that there is blood filling my abdomen, but they don't know where it's coming from and they can't see the pregnancy. So obviously they admit me and they give me tons of morphine and just continuously monitor me over the next few hours in hopes that the bleeding would resolve on its own. Finally, at about 9 that night, my husband had to obviously go home and be with our kids. Midnight, they determined this bleeding is not stopping. My abdomen was quickly filling up. And literally without anybody knowing, my husband, my kids, nobody knew, I was wheeled off to the OR for an operation. The staff and the anesthesiologists were angels. They were so kind and so reassuring. And the operation went super well. It was super fast, very successful. During that, they determined that I lost over a liter of blood, which I don't know if you know. Most humans have like 3 to 4 liters of blood in their bodies. And the bleeding was actually coming from a burst ovarian cyst, not an ectopic pregnancy. And the reason they were doubting me is that because a pregnancy at that point would be so small that it wouldn't be able to cause any symptoms like that. At that point, though, they couldn't determine whether or not the pregnancy had survived the surgery. But basically, the next morning after I woke up, they told me everything that happened, said I would need to be on some drugs in order to sustain my pregnancy, and sent me on my way. And for the ambulance, the drugs, the ultrasounds, the surgery, I just walked out and paid nothing. Anyway, I am just so thankful for all of the staff that took care of me, the EMTs. If I had waited any longer, it might not have turned out as well as it did. And yeah, I'm just so thankful to be celebrating another year, have my baby girl here who obviously made it, and thanks for listening. Let me know if you have any other questions about Danish healthcare.